Good morning. Oh, it's Wednesday. Hump day. Mike. Good morning and happy Wednesday. So let me ask you a question. Let's say that you could go back to 2008, right before the economic collapse, right before the banking industry collapse. Let's say you could go back to 2008, knowing what you know now. How would you look at 2008? Let's say if you're old enough to remember, let's say you could go back to 1998, 1999, right before the tech bubble collapsed. How would you look at those times if you were able to go back? Would you dread the future? Would you, knowing what was coming, would you be going, "Oh my God, this is terrible. My world's going to end"? Certainly you would know that a lot of people are going to go through a lot of pain for sure, and you would not be happy about that. But would you sit there and look at it and go, "This is a disaster," or would you look at it and go, "This is an opportunity"? Certainly if you knew that information was coming, it was an opportunity at that time. And you didn't need to predict the future. You just needed to be prepared. If when the tech bubble burst in 1999, you were disciplined and you had a chunk of your money on the sidelines and you were able to invest after the market fell. Now, you had to go through 8 years of the market not doing anything and then it falling again, right? That's what happened from 2000 to 2009. We forget that the tech bubble burst and the market dropped in half, 50%, then did nothing from 2000 to 2008, and then dropped in half again when the economic collapse happened. But if you were disciplined during those times and you were able to continue to invest, if you dollar cost averaged, if you diversified, what happened? Well, from 2008 until 2020, you've had a tremendous run and you've seen a great financial opportunity. Now, is that going to continue forever? No. The market never goes in one direction. But when there's a huge disruptance in the world, that creates an opportunity. So what's been disrupted now? All entertainment, right? From travel to dining to where you stay, how you stay, all of that has been interrupted. And new technologies have sprung up out of necessity. So Zoom, these types of things have been created and have accelerated because we need a way to connect and still kind of do some business. So if you were able to go back in 1999 when the tech bubble collapsed, what would you do? First of all, you would have sold out of all of your stocks. But let's say that you didn't see it coming. You didn't see that it was a bubble, because that's predicting the future. But if you were prepared when that drop happened, what would you do? You would keep investing. You would have kept investing in the stock market, understanding that you might go through a bear market that might last 10 years. And that sometimes happens. Sometimes the market goes 10, 20 years, it doesn't go 20, but sometimes it goes 10 years or better without doing much of anything. And if you would have kept doing that when the economic bubble happened, then you could have done it again. Now, let's say you were prepared when the economic collapse happened. If you had money sitting on the sidelines, what were you able to do then? Well, let me ask you this. If you invested in real estate anywhere in the United States, pick your city: Los Angeles, New York, Miami, Las Vegas, Chicago, name it. If you picked decent real estate in any of those, what happened after the collapse? Obviously, it went bananas. And where's it at now? Well, that's a good question. A lot of times we have to remember that when you have these huge disruptances like we have right now, that they're a huge financial opportunity. I told you a year ago I was at a Tony Robbins wealth seminar where one of the fund manager guys was saying that Blackwater was gathering up cash, selling assets and gathering cash because they figured that it had been so long since there had been an economic challenge that one was coming. I don't think anybody saw that it was going to be a virus, but they knew that one was coming. And what are they out looking for? Stressed assets, distressed assets. What are the distressed assets right now? Well, every restaurant, every hotel, those are things that are struggling mightily. Every theater, every movie theater, those things are all completely struggling mightily. Now, we have not felt the economic problems yet. I mean, we've felt them to an extent, but I mean, you've got an economy that's totally in shambles and a stock market that continues to go up. I mean, do those things make sense? No, they don't make sense. That doesn't mean the stock market's necessarily going to collapse. Maybe we're going to find a way to bridge ourselves to this end, but we can see that there will be an end. And the people that invest during these periods of times are the people that then 10 years from now look back and go, that was an amazing opportunity. And you don't even have to have that much skill. You just need to have discipline. It didn't really matter what you bought in the stock market back in 2000. If you just bought an index fund, honestly, you looked brilliant. It didn't really matter what real estate you bought in 2010. You just had to buy. You could even buy in my hometown. If you bought real estate in my little hometown of Freeport, Illinois, or if you bought real estate in Rockford, Illinois, it doubled during that period of time. You just bought a single family house, it basically doubled in value, or pretty close. And during that time, you could have collected rent, or you could have made money on that asset. So these disruptances that we discover are huge opportunities. So where's the opportunity that you can go seize? Because when we come out of this, remember the people that were successful during the Great Depression, a lot of them were people who worked for the government. They were firemen, they were policemen, because they had steady paychecks. And they spent a period of time not spending money on anything. So they had acquired a little bit of money, and so they bought things. Around here, they bought farmland, which they just kept in their family. So there's a group of people out there that have continued to accumulate money. There's people that are on pensions. There's people who work for the government. And they've accumulated money through this past 9 months because they're not spending money on anything. They're not going anywhere. They're not doing anything. Usually these people use their spare money for what? Travel and entertainment. They go to places, they go to restaurants, they go to trips, they go see shows, they go on cruises. Well, they haven't done any of that. Now, they tend to be a little bit older, but not always. Now, when it's safe, which we can tell likely in 2021 that's going to happen, that all of a sudden it's going to be safe, or at least safe enough that everybody's going to feel a lot more comfortable than right now. What are these folks going to do? Are they going to really worry about their 401k anymore? Are they going to look at it that much? Or are they going to look around and go, I am tired of being in my house and not being around people, and the clock is ticking on my life, and I'm going to go enjoy my life? The millennials have already shown us, they watched good friends lose their houses. They watched friends in upper middle class situations suddenly lose their house. And so the millennials decided, we're going to go have experiences. Now, they're starting to invest in the stock market. And by the way, when we get to a time when we've got 2 million new people investing in the stock market in the last couple of months, that's a bad sign. Usually when you get all kinds of new people and everybody's been kind of suckered in and the big dogs have sold off what they want, that's usually when you get a big tank. So just be just be warned, everybody coming in on Acorn and buying shares. I just saw a thing on the news last night where there's all these young people and they're buying portions of stocks and da-da-da-da. That's usually a bad sign. But if that all happens, that is a tremendous opportunity. And so one of the things I want you to start to think about is, what are the opportunities that you have in this situation? And you don't need to have a ton of skill. You just need to have discipline. When people come out of this, they're going to want to go do stuff. They're going to want to go to restaurants. They're going to want to go to bars. They're going to want to be entertained. They're going to want to be out of their house. So if you are in a position to provide that for them, or have invested in people that are in a position to provide that for them, 5 years from now, you're going to look back and say, that tragedy turned out to be an opportunity for me to change my situation. Maybe you can use it as an opportunity to tremendously help people. Our healthcare system is pushed to the brink and will go past its brink during this crisis. That's Iowa now. It's happening for sure. It's happening in the Dakotas. It's going to happen in Wisconsin. The healthcare system is just absolutely going to be pushed way past what it's capable of doing. That's going to create an opportunity. They need people. They need help. They need more nurses. They need more doctors. They need more PAs. They need more administration. They need more everything. Do you think that society and the government are going to pump money into that system in order to build it back up? Yeah, absolutely they're going to do that. You know, this virus, it needs to get moved around somehow. It's going to have to be massively refrigerated. Okay, well, somebody's got to do that. Who's going to do that? Is it going to be beer trucks? I don't know. But somehow they got to transport this stuff around, and somebody's got to do that. All of these disruptances create great opportunities. So if you're in one of those situations where you're being economically impacted, and I am, I don't have a court system, you know, people are sick, we have to keep being closed down. I mean, it's a challenge. But where are the opportunities? Where is it that you can find a need that is not being filled and you can fill it? Because I guarantee that it's there. And you don't have to be brilliant. You just have to be disciplined. You have to take the action and move forward and say, here's what I'm going to do and here's how I'm going to do it. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. Start thinking about this in terms of, we're coming out next year, 2021, we're going to come out of this. We're going to get back to a new normal. And where's the opportunities that you can assist or invest or help others or do what it is that you want to do in order to change your economic situation? If you're in a situation where things are bad, figure out where you're going. Don't focus on the past, focus on the future. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great Wednesday. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.